The loudest person in the room is rarely the strongest. Weak people announce everything: their plans, their anger, their success, their opinions. But powerful people move differently. They understand something dangerous. Silence creates power. In a world addicted to noise, attention, and constant validation, silence has become rare, and rare things become valuable. Most people talk because they want approval. They want attention. They want to feel important. But the disciplined man understands that speaking less gives him something most people never achieve: control, because silence protects your energy. Silence protects your focus. Silence protects your emotions. And most importantly, silence makes people respect you. The Stoics understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius ruled one of the most powerful empires in history, yet he constantly reminded himself to remain calm, disciplined and measured. Not everything deserves a reaction. That lesson alone can transform your life. Because modern society rewards emotional noise, but life rewards emotional control. Today, you will understand why silence intimidates weak people, attracts respect, and gives you psychological power. Because a calm mind is difficult to manipulate, and a man who controls himself becomes dangerous. Part 1. Silence is self-control. Most people speak emotionally. They react instantly. They argue instantly. They defend themselves instantly. And that lack of control exposes weakness. Silence is different. Silence means you are thinking before reacting. It means emotions do not own you. Anyone can shout. Anyone can complain. Anyone can explode in anger. But remaining calm under pressure, that requires strength. The Stoics believed emotional control was one of the highest forms of power. Because once emotions control your mouth, they control your life. Think about how many people destroy opportunities because they cannot stay silent. They reveal too much. They argue unnecessarily. They expose insecurity through endless talking. Weak minds fear silence. Strong minds use it strategically. Part 2. Silence makes people wonder about you. People value what they cannot fully understand. A person who speaks constantly becomes predictable, but a silent person creates mystery. And mystery creates attention. When you stop explaining yourself constantly, people begin observing you differently. Your words gain weight, because rare words carry more value. Most people dilute their power by talking too much. They explain every move, every dream, every plan, and sometimes talking becomes a substitute for action. The Stoics warned against unnecessary speech, because talking excessively often feeds ego instead of progress. A disciplined person moves quietly. They build quietly. They improve quietly. They win quietly. And that silence becomes intimidating, because people cannot predict calm individuals easily. Part 3. Silence protects you from drama. Drama feeds on reaction. The moment you react emotionally, chaos grows. That's why emotionally intelligent people choose silence carefully. Not because they are weak, but because they understand peace is valuable. Some arguments are traps. Some people want your reaction more than your understanding. The Stoics believed that protecting inner peace was more important than winning pointless battles. Not every insult deserves a response. Not every opinion deserves your energy. Sometimes silence is the strongest answer possible, because silence denies emotional people the conflict they seek, and that frustrates them. A calm person becomes difficult to manipulate. Part 4. The world fears calm people. An emotional person is easy to control. Make them angry, and they lose logic. Make them insecure, and they seek validation. Make them jealous, and they become reckless. But calm people are dangerous, because calm people think clearly under pressure. Their decisions are not controlled by temporary emotions. That's why silence creates authority. When everyone else panics, the silent person stands out immediately. In business, in relationships, in leadership, in life. People naturally trust emotionally stable individuals more because emotional control signals strength. Imagine two men facing criticism. One explodes emotionally. The other stays calm and silent. Who appears stronger? The answer is obvious. Part 5. Silence saves energy. Most people waste enormous energy talking about things that change nothing. Complaining, gossiping, arguing, seeking approval. All of it drains mental strength. Silence preserves energy, and preserved energy increases focus. The Stoics understood that attention is precious. Every unnecessary conversation steals focus from your goals. That's why disciplined people become selective with speech. Not cold, not arrogant, intentional. Because not every thought deserves expression, and not every audience deserves access to your mind. Part 6. Silence makes success louder. Nothing is more powerful than silent progress. Many people announce goals before achieving them. They want applause early, but applause can become addictive, and once people receive validation too early, motivation weakens. Silent workers avoid this trap. They disappear quietly. They learn quietly. They struggle quietly. They improve quietly. And one day, their results shock everyone. That is real power. The Stoics valued humility because humility keeps the ego under control. Talking too much about future success feeds ego. Working silently feeds discipline, and discipline always lasts longer than hype. Part 7. Silence in relationships. Not every emotional moment requires words. Sometimes silence prevents damage. Many relationships collapse because people react emotionally instead of thoughtfully. Anger speaks quickly. Wisdom pauses. Silence gives you time to think before causing unnecessary destruction. The Stoics believed words should be measured carefully, because once spoken, they cannot be taken back. A disciplined person knows when to remain silent. That restraint creates maturity, and maturity creates respect. Part 8. Silence reveals the truth about people. One of the most powerful things about silence is this. When you stop talking, people reveal themselves. Most people fear silence in conversation. They rush to fill empty space, and in doing so, they expose their insecurities, intentions, and emotions. Silent people observe more, and observation creates intelligence. You notice patterns, energy, behavior, motives. People often tell you everything you need to know if you simply stay quiet long enough. That's why silence sharpens awareness. Part 9. Social media rewarded noise, but life rewards discipline. Modern society encourages constant exposure. Post everything, share everything, react to everything, but constant exposure weakens focus. The Stoic path is different. Private growth, quiet discipline, controlled emotion. Not every achievement needs an audience. Not every thought needs posting. Some of the strongest people move silently because they understand this. Attention is temporary, but discipline changes your life permanently. Part 10. Silence during hard times is strength. Anyone can remain calm when life is easy. Real strength appears during hardship. When people doubt you, when life becomes painful, when success feels far away, that's when silence becomes powerful. Instead of complaining, you work. Instead of seeking pity, you adapt. Instead of announcing struggles constantly, you build resilience. The Stoics respected endurance, not dramatic suffering, quiet endurance. Because suffering silently while continuing to move forward creates mental toughness. Part 11. The difference between weak silence and powerful silence. Not all silence is strength. Some silence comes from fear. Fear of speaking. Fear of confrontation, fear of judgment. But powerful silence is different. Powerful silence is controlled. It is calm, intentional, confident. A powerful silent person does not remain quiet because they are intimidated. They remain quiet because they understand control. And control is power. Part 12. Why people respect silent individuals. People respect those who appear emotionally stable. Silence communicates discipline. It shows you are not desperate for attention, not controlled by impulse, not addicted to approval. And in today's world, that is rare. Most people overshare because they fear invisibility. But the disciplined person understands. You do not need constant attention to have value. True confidence is quiet. Part 13. Building a silent mind. External silence means little without internal silence. Many people are quiet outside but chaotic inside. The Stoics focused on calming the mind itself, because peace begins internally. A calm mind thinks clearly, makes better decisions, avoids emotional destruction. To build internal silence, spend time alone, reduce distractions, limit emotional reactions, observe more than you speak, think before responding. Slowly, your mind becomes stronger. And once your mind becomes calm, very few things can control you. The man who masters silence becomes unforgettable. In a noisy world, silence stands out. Not weak silence, not fearful silence, disciplined silence. The kind of silence that protects focus, protects peace, protects power. Because powerful people do not waste energy trying to prove themselves constantly. They let actions speak. And actions speak louder than emotion ever will. The Stoics understood this centuries ago. A calm mind is stronger than a loud ego. So stop reacting to everything. Stop explaining yourself endlessly. Stop seeking validation from strangers. Learn to sit quietly with your thoughts. Learn to control your emotions. Learn to move with discipline. Because when a man masters silence, he becomes difficult to manipulate, difficult to intimidate, and impossible to ignore.